Hello, I am Dr.V.Balambica, Professor and Head Department of Mechatronics Engineering, Bharat Institute of Higher Education and Research. So today we are going to look into the course name Total Quality Management. Under this, the title is Customer Satisfaction and Cost of Quality. Earlier, I had discussed in my previous slides regarding the barriers in TQM, like various definitions of TQM, the concepts involved, and also we have seen about the various advantages, who is a customer, what a customer requires, who is an external customer and internal customer. So those were the topics which were covered in the last slide, and now in these slides, we are going to, the further slides, we are going to discuss elaborately on customer satisfaction and the costs of quality. So let us see what is in store in the next slides, forthcoming slides. Satisfaction. So first, let us know what is customer satisfaction. All right. Now, it is when you buy a product, what happens when you buy a product? It is not over like, this product. It may be a mixer grinder, it may be a car, it may be a, like a cot or a bed, anything. Depends upon its function. You lodge a complaint or you do not lodge a complaint. For example, an air conditioner, an air cooler, right? All these requires, has a warranty period of service, a guarantee period of service, and also if there are any problems encountered, you immediately reach out the customer care for help. Yes. So this may be also your mobile phones. So in this case, customer satisfaction is satisfying the customer at the most, at most is customer satisfaction. Like, for example, if you have a warranty period, what is a warranty period? Actually, it is representing an organization's public promise of a quality product backed up by a guarantee of customer satisfaction, isn't it? If there is a warranty period, it guarantees the customers or encourages the customers to buy the product, to use the service by reducing the risk of purchase decision. If you say there is a product, you buy this product for me, but there is no guarantee for it, but there is no warranty for it, would you like to purchase? No. You don't know, maybe after 10 days your product does not work. And this is going to be a big problem to you. So therefore, every product carries a warranty period. Understand? So what happens is that when we go like this, we have a split of various customers. They are the internal customers and external customers. Now let us, for example, take an organization, an educational organization. Okay, an educational organization. So when this educational organization is taken as an example, who are the internal customers? The teachers, right? Because there is one employer, the organization's head. He is the employer. And the employer is following total quality management in his organization. Total quality management has a definite amount of principles to be followed to bring this quality in the educational system. Imagine it is followed in organization, and we are dividing the type of customers. So among those, we have two types of customers. The one is called as an internal customer, and the other one is called as an external customer. Now, what is an internal? Who is an internal customer? So you can see here, internal customer and a supplier relationship. The internal customer in an organization will be the teachers, the lab assistants, okay, and who are working for implementing knowledge, for giving knowledge to the external customers. The external customers will be the students of the college. Yes. Yes. So in this way, we have several routes, like how these organization is going to depend upon both of them. Yes, the organization has to be depending upon both of them, and the organization has to keep both of them happy. The internal customers have to make the external customers happy in order to make them come back, make them, in an educational institution, it doesn't happen that they come back again, but they bring some more customers, they introduce a more number of customers, and in this way, the admission process for the organization, educational institution increases. Yes, this depends upon the kind of service which is rendered to the students. Yes, so as I said, who's an internal customer and internal customer. Now we will be going for the questions asked by the people to their internal customers, right? So the first thing is, what do you need from me? What do you do with my output? Are there any gaps between what you need and what you get? So good teamwork and interdepartmental harmony is required. Also, the leader's role in supervising the internal customer supply chain. So as I told you, the internal customers will be the teacher, and the lab assistants, the lab technicians, everyone comes into this group. Whoever works for the benefit of the organization, all are internal customers. Now, who's the supplier? To you, students are supplied, isn't it? Students are the external customers. They are given in here. They are in here to demanding knowledge. What knowledge? Perfection. Perfection in knowledge. And the more amount you give, the more consistent you are, the more we make them improve. Will fetch you a lot more of customers in the next time period. Yes, but how does this the internal customers make the external customers happy in an educational institution? This happens by good teamwork and interdepartmental harmony. That's the last point which has to be noted. Very, very important. Now, how these satisfaction is achieved? We have two dimensions. The first one is product features and freedom from deficiencies. Now let's come to what is product features. It refers to the quality of design. Examples in manufacturing industry: performance, reliability, durability, ease of use, aesthetics. All these are the product features, right? For a human, what are his features? What are his features? The way he performs, how much he's reliable, his eyes, his nose, mouth, hair, texture, how old is he? Okay, so all this will be coming for a human being, right? So the next examples in the service industry when we come across is accuracy, timeliness, cleanliness, and courtesy. Right? What is freedom from deficiencies? It refers to the quality of conformance. Quality of conformance is meeting the necessary specifications. There should be no defect. Only the specifications has to be met. That is called as a standard. Now, who's a customer? First of all, he is the boss, actually. You are the owner of the company. The customer is the boss. He dictates the market trends and directions. Not only has the needs to be supplied, he also wants what he wants. And you have to identify what he wants. Hence, the suppliers and manufacturers have to closely follow at the heat of the customer. So, customer dissatisfaction and satisfaction feedback. So, whenever you're going to run a company, an organization, you have to keep track of all the feedback continuously. When you develop this feedback, you cannot do all this by your own. If you run an organization, there will be several internal customers working for you. They are the employees. So some of the employees are the internal customers. So they follow a strategy, a planning method, a methodology for continuous improvement, right? And at one time, complaints are a reactive method. You can find them. Complaints can be also from the internal customers and the external customers. And what did I tell you? The employer got to keep both the internal as well as the external customers happy, right? So these complaints should not be emerging from both of them. Because once the internal customers are not happy, then they are not in the verge of satisfying the external customers also. So you got to hire a person who loves work, who dedicates his work, who's dedicated to teamwork, who's dedicated to work in the team, to give the output, okay? Apart from whatever he finds only his basic needs are satisfied. And the love for work, based on that, the internal customers are chosen, and these internal customers work for the external customers to deliver products of efficient quality. Okay, and then after then, you got to collect the feedback, like what's happening, if everything is going on fine, or if there is any problem. If there is any problem, what are those problems, right? So therefore, you got to collect the customer feedback, and the performance comparisons with the competitors also can be known. And customer needs also has to be identified every time, every year, every month maybe, because as I said, you get customers wants or daily improvement. They want more and more. They're not satisfied with only one thing. And right from the past 10 years, you look back, you can identify, you can imagine what are the different changes which has taken place from the past 10 years till today. So the next point is related priorities of quality can be obtained from the process map. Areas for improvements has to be noted. So, you can collect, how you can collect this feedback? You will be collecting a feedback by means of, you can make a survey, direct survey, or you have surveys all over the internet. You got to download any one kind of form and prepare your questions, post it in the survey website, and you will be charged for a certain number of surveys to be seen by so many people. So if it's below 500, you are not having any charge, it seems. And if you want the survey, the feedback to reach around 200, 500, more than, I'm sorry, it's more than 1,000 customers, in that case, you got to pay a meager amount a month. The other way is directly reach out to the customer's place to gather some information. So you can directly get the feedback. Okay. Now, what is the feedback by means of in an educational institution? Yes, this is nothing. It is the report card. You have continuous assessments, isn't it? So continuously you assess the student, who is the external customer, to assess it, like what is his progress. If his progress is less, then what is the cost, right? Find out the cost. So you can assess this on quarterly basis, or monthly basis, half-yearly basis. Okay, this happens everywhere. It happens even in school. The every customer is assessed. Yes, and so as I told you, another way of getting the feedback is monitoring the discussions that takes place on the internet sites. All this you can make use of for getting the improvement. And as I said, we can see all the the feedback methods. They are the customer survey, questionnaire. This you can post it on the internet. Visits directly, focus groups. There might be focus groups and a team, a representative. So from the representative, you can get the feedback of all other customers, right? And as we said, quarterly, it may be monthly or half-yearly. Okay, toll-free phones, email, employee feedback, mass customization. So these are the several ways of getting feedbacks. And one important thing is customer retention. Once you are very sure that this is going to be my customer, you got to be friendly. Not friendly, it doesn't mean that you got to be so friendly, become so friendly. It's all on the business basis. Like you got to retain your customers so that he brings some more number of customers. And the customer retention is very much important. By word of mouth, the product is the product's quality is talking about, it's talked about, and people value your product. So how good you advertise your product, how good you value your product, all this is exhibited, and the customer also is made use of that product. The product is used by the customer, he's satisfied the customer service, and that is when that he introduced the same brand to another external customer to buy the same product, because this gives you, he will tell you, for example, let me say that we had several mobile phones. We had, in those days, we had Nokia, we had Samsung, and we have Oppo, many kinds. So among those, MI, right? So among those, today the most preferred mobile phone without any risk we can buy are the Samsung phones, Samsung Android mobile phones. So in this case, what happens? So when you buy the Samsung phones, you speak to the customer care. They will, if there is any problem with your mobile phone, there are different customer service center in your area or away from your area. So in that case, if there is a problem encountered in your mobile phone, after the warranty, usually it happens after the warranty period, but even if it happens before, your mobile phone will be exchanged for the new one if it is within the warranty period. Okay, so in this way, the customer also, when he picks up the phone, greets you, welcomes you, asks you politely, and asks your queries and finds out what is the problem with your phone, tries to solve it online or in phone. But if not possible, he or she asks you to come to the nearest service center. So when you go to the service center, again, you are very greeted by them. You're made to sit, okay? And then your mobile phone is checked for any discrepancies, damages, cost. So all this, right? So this is why, because Samsung is preferred by most of the external customers, people to buy. So they buy Samsung more. So Samsung is always also improving. There's only not one version. Every year there is some other version. Earlier there was only Tab, but now in Tab also you have various models, is it? Various models. Earlier you had only a mobile phone. Next came the Tab. Right. So like this customer satisfaction leads to loyalty and customer retention. Right. So this is we can call this an acid test, and bottom line, when the customer repeatedly comes back to you for repeat orders and to purchase new products manufactured by you. So the next time you manufacture a good product, he sees your brand name. Oh, okay, fine. That brand is going to give me a really quality product. So that is relying on your product. For example, Tata. You can see the Tata. There's Tata Steel, Tata Tea, Tata Cars. Okay, so many products of Tata. And they say the name Tata. It is reliable. Customers rely on the product. Same way. Okay, so Tata has retained his customers. It depends on, you get 10 customers, try to reach them. Do not think that, tomorrow we may get some more, we'll see later. This is not the way to be an entrepreneur. Okay, so the next one, the firm orders, receive cash payments, market share, customer referrals, and customer retention are an indication of your customer success. Now, when we come to the cost of quality, now when we are speaking about total quality management, we will be speaking about the cost of quality. As I said, total quality management is costly also. And it was first introduced in Japan, and they were the quality gurus who had given a set of principles to follow. So if an organization is going to follow total quality management, then all the principles of total quality has to be followed, not even one left out. This is for attaining zero defect. So in this case, the cost is going to be high, but also the profit which you're going to gain is also going to be high. Let us know what is the cost of quality. A quality cost is considered to be any cost that the company would not have incurred if the quality of the product or service were perfect. So the quality cost or the sum of prevention costs, appraisal cost, and internal and external failure costs. Okay, so total cost of quality is what are the prevention costs? You had, there are costs which was prevented, right? So before any repair is going to occur, before anything is going to happen, you priorly find out that this will happen if this happens. I mean, if a certain methodology is adopted, this is going to be a failure. So when you know that there is going to be a failure, then do not implement it. So you prevent it there. Okay. And the next one is appraisal. Like today, Corona, you have the pandemic going on all around. During the period of this Corona, people wore masks and gloves, and sometimes they also covered their bodies totally. Okay, with also sometimes headgears. So all this was when, like, to prevent them from getting this virus into them, isn't it? That was the previous. So they have reduced their cost. In what way the human has reduced his cost? He has prevented himself from a deadly disease to be caught, and in this way he has prevented by wearing masks, all such things. So in this case, he was prevented. He has not developed that virus. So in this way, he has prevented. So that's prevention cost. Now, if suppose if he is not preventing it, then he has to pay a huge sum for, if he has got the deadly disease, then he has to pay the huge sum to the hospital to get cured, right? Something like that. Otherwise, in a manufacturing company, let's take a product. So in this product also, if suppose the product, instead of getting manufactured and taking a defective piece, instead of that, finding out first, like what will be the problem that will be occurring if this methodology was adapted, finding out the problem. So if you find out the problem prior to the defective piece being manufactured, then the prevention cost is reduced. So in this way, scrap is reduced. In this way, you do not get a defective product. This is called as the prevention cost. And the next comes the appraisal cost. The cost which you spend on appraisal, and internal and external failure costs. Now, the hidden cost of poor quality, reprocessing. So these are all here. We can show the hidden costs which are achieved by poor quality. So they are reprocessing, customer returns, warranty expenses, loss of warranty expenses means what? Means once you have provided a warranty period to your product, but the product, once it is going into the hands of the customer and it fails before the warranty period, that means the cost incurred is, you got to replace it with a new product, right? So that is the warranty expenses. Loss of goodwill, you do not get a goodwill from others. Lost sales, your sales is going to be lost. If suppose there are 20 customers, among them 10 customers return back showing you that you have a defective product given out to me. So this is going to be, again, poor quality. This all happens due to poor quality. Then overtime to correct errors, right? You need not do overtime. Finish off all at the right time, first time. That's what was told is according to total quality management. Then extra inventory, extra process capacity, or the premium freight costs, right? So these are the hidden quality costs which you have to prevent. The next coming to the cost of quality team are incurred or allocated, but rather cost. The costs are not incurred or allocated, but it is rather cost, and it does not solve quality problems, nor does it suggest specific solutions. Problems are solved by tracing the cause of quality deficiency. Coming to the benefits of TQM. Okay. So coming to the benefits of TQM, we have a greater customer loyalty. Once you implement all the principles in your organization, I said to you it's going to be costly, but still you're going to get a lot of profit, and you're going to get loyal customers. Also, your internal customers will be loyal to you because they are all satisfied whatever you provide to them, right? And market share improvement is going to be there. Higher stock prices, reduced service calls. So reduced service calls means what? They might not be again and again like that. You have given me a defective product. You're receiving calls is also, you got to sit and you got to pay them, right? So when there is no defective product, when there is no repair or maintenance after a certain amount of service period, then there will be no service calls also. And higher prices and greater productivity is all going to be encountered in the case of this, what do you call it, as benefits. Now let's come to the next smart goal setting. We call it as smart goal setting. So S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for achievable. Okay. So T is for setting. Smart goal setting, right? Now let's be specific and objective to be specific, objective to be measurable, objective to be achievable, okay? For the given resources, all this you have to see. Next, coming to the quality by design. We have here the quality target profile, product design and understanding. So see, once you are ready with a product to manufacture, you've got to see that what is your target, and next is product design and understanding. You've got to understand the design first, then you've got to find out the process, the steps, the methodology, and have the control. After the control is there with me, there will going to be continuous improvement. So in short, we can say that continuous improvement is a hallmark of quality by design. Taguchi or robust design changes during manufacturing can result in last product use being different from the first order. Now, manufacturing for quality is create a culture of quality and work with suppliers, use technology to connect the supply chain. Okay, so you've got to work closely with the suppliers, enabling manufacturers to understand the supplier's internal processes and offers to improve the quality of the component parts so that they meet the manufacturer's quality standards. And connecting, using technology to connect the supply chain. So with the global supply chain, it becomes increasingly difficult to know what is happening at each facility or supplier. Utilizing leading technologies, making it possible for operators and inspectors within a manufacturer's facility or the supplier to input data from anywhere using a mobile device. You understand? So what do you do? Utilizing leading technologies, making it possible for operator, especially within a manufacturer, then or supplier to input data from anywhere. So this happens right nowadays. You have so many device locations, device monitoring, using this to connect to the supply chain. And the next is demand more than inspection report. Okay. Traditionally, manufacturers had to rely on paper report, usually before, and the word of their suppliers that parts received with high quality standards. Today, it's not enough to trust this process. Manufacturers must have visibility into suppliers' operations to understand what's occurring within the manufacturing process, ensuring appropriate testing is being conducted on mold and confirming the results are meeting the standards. So in those days, it was not there, but today there is a demand for the inspection report. Coming to the next point, we have the leverage manufacturing intelligence, meaning Utilizing advanced data analysis software, it is possible to compare sites or suppliers, identifying areas for improvement. If one facility is running an identical process significantly more efficiently than another, the information could be shared with the second site to enable process improvement. Extending this learning opportunity across the manufacturing environment helps to increase overall effectiveness and improve variation across the operations. Okay. Similarly, manufacturing intelligence also enables enterprise to drill down through manufacturing data within the business and its supply chain. If a product is, as we said, what we have been discussing, like if a product was written within the warranty period because of defective part, quality software can be used to identify whether the return was due to supplier or material consistency. That also can be checked. Now, as we have seen, our relevant time is time-bound quality planning. Coming to the quality planning, what is quality planning? Let us first know about it. Plan. You got to plan. Now, when you plan, let us take manager. Yes, the manager. So, what is his ultimate goal? Now, what is the ultimate goal of quality concept? Quality concept is what? Standardizing in everything, standard in everything, finding out standard. Okay, so that's quality. So, the quality is the sum of everything. And if suppose he's a project manager, is to ensure that the product manufactured is of high quality. So for high quality, a strategic planning is required. Just like that, without any planning, anything does not work. Okay, even a student or a small child is sitting for his exams. If he plans accordingly, studies according to his plan, then he is going to reach great heights. If there is no timetable, people will be confused in our educational organization, like when which class is going to be held. Okay. If there is no timetable for the examination, again, there is going to be really a confusion. So everything is planned. In a department, everything is going to be planned. In an educational institution, taking as an example, I'm telling you about a particular department is going to be followed. So it's not only the particular department, the whole organization has to follow the same. The whole organization has to have these two quality management, follow these two quality management principles. If so, then every department is also destined to follow. Now, coming to one particular department, as I said you that there will be continuous improvements. So these improvements will be are there for the students to find out their capabilities, their strengths, and their weaknesses. And this also cannot be done just like that. Again, there is going to be planning. There's going to be session start, session end, and within these sessions, what are going to happen, okay? And where the student is going to move, what kind of knowledge is he going to achieve, what kind of teachers he's going to be within the campus. All these are planned. Yes. So that says that the systematic approach or the systematic process that translates quality policy into measurable objectives and requirements and lays down a sequence of steps for realizing them within a specified time frame. If you're planning for a year to rise results examples, if you're planning for 10 years, do trees. See, what I mean to tell you is if you are planning for a year's success, for a year's profit, then you've got to grow, rise. You've got to feel, imagine. And you want some profit. And you are thinking like what to do. So plan. So this is a short plan which I'm giving you. Like this, you can plan out your program. So if you're planning for a year, means grow rice. If you're planning for 10 years, grow trees, coconut trees, because fruits will come, you can sell the fruit. And again, coconut trees are going to be, if you get quality coconuts, then it should have good water in it. And also the coconut also should be fresh and fine so that it goes into the market. And so brand of coconuts are always preferred. People buy from you, the wholesaler. So if you're planning for 100 years, educate your children. So therefore, quality has a direct relationship with sales, productivity, profit, and profit competition. Okay. So the next we will be going for is the strategic planning. Strategic planning is what we were now recently talking about. Okay, so there are 7 steps for these to be followed. Again, we are discussing almost the same. Some tactics are going to be different. Now we have here the discover. First one is discover customer needs, customer positioning, predict the future, gap analysis, closing the gap, alignment, implementation. Okay. So all this is customer needs. Okay. I mean strategy planning. And you've got to find out what the customer is needing every year, every month, slowly, and position them accordingly. Predict what's going to happen in the future for that, what product you're going to make, or how you're going to satisfy the customer more. With what will be they satisfied in future? And what is the gap between the existing product and the new product? What is the gap analysis? What is it going to be? And how you are going to close the gap, align it, and then once you have this plan with you ready, in this case, you got to implement it. You got to stand up, start implementing. So the next coming to the final, almost we are at the end of the session. So we have here inspection. All of you might be knowing what is inspection. Inspection is required everywhere. Wherever there is quality, inspection has to be there. Okay. So any kind of project also has to be inspected at the end for achieving high standards, for achieving high quality. Now, inspection involves examining items to see if an item is good or defective. This is a simple definition. And the next comes is objective. Detect a defective product. Does not direct deficiencies in process or product issues. When to inspect, where to inspect, where in the process to inspect, consider the transformation process. Okay? So the objective should be clear. So with this, we will be ending the show for today's session. Thank you, all of you. Thank you once again.